What's up, comic fans? And it's time for that new comic book day haul plus review where I give you like minimal reviews of some of the books I picked up. Try not to spoil anything for you. Plus, we just go through all the books I picked up this week, alright? So let's do it, and we're gonna do it right after this.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Do it. Do it till you're satisfied, whatever it is. So my thing is, it's comics. Alright, so let's go. Let's get into the books. Let's see what we got. First, we're going to start off with some 50 centers like we normally do. I've been lucky enough to have an LCS that has a warehouse that has 50 centers. So, I'm able to show off some of the 50 centers I pick up pretty much every week. So if you like 50-cent books, this is the place to be. Because if you like comics, this is also the place to be. Alright, first up we got Ultimate Avengers number 1. Alright. You got what do you got? Nick Fury, you got Dee Dee, Daredevil on that yellow and maroon costume tip. Looks like Hawkeye and I'm not quite sure who the other one is. But this is a Francis Lanier Yu cover. So it's pretty cool. It's Ultimate Avengers 3, issue 1. Not much going on here. Mark Millar wrote it though, so that's also pretty cool. And that's 50 center. Alright, next up we got, this is some 90s goodness, I guess. We got Deathlock number 2. Right? So maybe I'll start collecting all the Deathlocks. Deathlock, Sleepwalker, and Ghost Rider were kind of like 3 of my favorites in the 90s. So, out of Marvel. So maybe we'll try to replicate and create those runs and finish those off. Last but not least, out of the 50-cent bin, we got Defenders number 1. This is a beautiful Peach Momoko cover with the Silver Surfer on there. Right. So those were all 50 centers. All right. So those were the 50-cent books. Let's get into some of the newer books. So we got alright, so we got, this is, I forgot, another Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer something, but this is a John Tyler Christopher cover, JTC. Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy, alright? So basically, Silver Surfer goes and steals the Time Stone for Genis Vale so that, he can go see travel back in time just to observe his father, Captain Marvel, doing his thing. But turns out the Silver Surfer really wasn't who he was, which, the way it was written, I was like, that's not the real Silver Surfer. Turns out it was Mephisto, and there's all sorts of stuff happening, and then the Silver Surfer comes back, and the Infinity Watch is all mad, and Adam Warlock's like, coming back to the scene of the crime, and the Silver Surfer's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, it was an okay issue. It was okay. If you like that 90s though, Infinity Watch, the stones, the Infinity Stones, and it's a comic for you. And if you're not into that stuff, then it's probably not a comic for you. I thought the writing was okay. Art was good. But nothing stood out. Nothing was like spectacular about this. But this cover. And watch out for the second printing. There's going to be a really cool second printing of that. Alright, let's get into this week's books. First up, off the bat, we're going to start with DC. We got Catwoman number 57. This is the third part of Gotham War. Alright. It's basically Catwoman versus Batman. Catwoman's trying to train criminals to do less violent crimes, alright? So like theft, like petty theft, or in this case, actual grand larceny, grand theft auto, if you will. But do things that don't actually hurt people, at least physically, right? I mean, get your car stolen, it's gonna hurt a little bit, right? Mentally at least, maybe in the pockets. But anyway, just trying to get these criminals to do things that are less violent, so nobody dies and everybody gets to eat. That's pretty much the concept. Batman, he's got some traumas, right? If you've been following the Batman book, you know, he got sent to another dimension. He comes back, right? His arm gets cut off. He's just so many things have happened to Batman in the last year, really, right? Loses his money, or loses a lot of his money. Has to kind of leave the mansion, right? Can't keep the upkeep on that. You know, lives in a brownstone. Oh no, poor Batman. Has less, you know, just less resources. And then to top it off, at the end of the last Batman issue, Vandal Savage has purchased Gotham Manor, so he's suffering a lot. But anyway, Batman he wants no crime. He just wants a perfectly crime-free Gotham City, right? Probably a lofty expectation. Catwoman's like, let's meet in the middle and, you know, cut our losses. And so it's leading to this war, right? You got Red Hood kind of working with Catwoman. Nightwing's kind of staying on the periphery, so's the rest of the Bat family. It's a good series. It's good. I don't think it's going to be that many issues, maybe 4 or 5 issues, right? Crossing over between Batman and Catwoman. And maybe, you know, a few side pieces here and there. But, you know, and like Red Hood and all that. But other than that, yeah, it's good. I'd check it out. This is an okay book. Art's good. Art's great, actually. There is like another side kind of story happening here with Vandal Savage too. That's going to affect not just Batman but Catwoman. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, moving on. And it's cool that they're, you know, the Bat family books are standalones in some ways, but in the same mold, they're crossing over. So right, if you read one, things that happen in one kind of happen in another. DC's editorial's getting a lot better with these days. You know, they did purge a lot of people, so they're finally, you know, I think getting it back together. Next up, we got Superman: The Chain Part 1. All right, so we're coming back, you know, from all that Night Terror stuff. We're back in the Superman universe. You got Joshua Williamson writing this. Jamal Campbell had been doing the interiors. He's not on this one, and I'm like, why? You had all that Night Terror time to catch up on the books, but whatever. Melnikov doing the interiors. Didn't do a bad job. It just wasn't as... Jamal Campbell's got a very good artistic sensibility that's very pleasing to the eye, and this guy's just a little bit more jagged with the edges, and it's a little bit more rough, but didn't do a horrible job. I'm not even sure who did the cover, but kind of looks Jamal Campbell-esque, if you ask me. Anyway, Superman has done it again. He didn't trust Lex Luthor, even though Lex Luthor in this issue is hospitalized because he got shanked. He got shanked in prison. You know, the thing that happens in prison sometimes happened to Lex Luthor, to Lex. And so Superman finds out some stuff that was kind of told to him by the guys who shanked Lex Luthor. Kind of, I think, setting up Superman. Superman. Anyway, Superman again doesn't listen to Lex, and some bad stuff happens. He unleashes this character. I'm gonna call him the Chained, because right, that's the title of this, and that's pretty much where this issue is starts off. Where this issue is leading us. There we go. Superman. All right, moving on. Oh, speaking of Superman, the Uncanny D-Man just did a Superman Day video. Go check it out. It's pretty funny. All right, moving on. We have Gunslinger Spawn, number 24. Javier, the Gunslinger Spawn, in this, you know, he's doing his thing. He's prepping to take some baddies out. He's finding guys. And in this one, he saves a woman who's kind of working for the bad guys, but not on purpose, because she needs money for her baby, who has been badly injured by this, you know, the people who basically did Javier wrong, did Gunslinger Spawn wrong back in the day, right? These like demon guys, right? Somehow Gunslinger Spawn gets pulled into the present because of regular Spawn, right? In the Hell Gates and all that other stuff, or whatever they call the gates. They're not Hell Gates. But he shows a moment of compassion in this one, all right? So he's got some money saved and, you know, all this other stuff, and basically gets back a trinket that belonged to his sister, who was also murdered by these guys, and leaves the lady some money so that she can help her baby, who was, like I said, injured by these villains, these demons, if you will. Gunslinger Spawn. I think it's cool. It's only $2.99 too, so check it out, right? Because the Superman was $4.99. Like, comics are just $4.99 now. Catwoman was $3.99, but the $3.99, $4.99 price tag started to kill me. Once books reach like $5.99, I might move on to a different hobby. I don't know. Maybe I'll just collect, you know, keys or something at that point. Leave modern comics behind and just get apps and read them. I don't know. Anyway, I'm riffing. Let's get back to the books. We're at Grimm number 13. All right. I swear I remember this guy's name, but now I just forgot it because I started riffing, and it's a French name. But anyway, Grimm, this issue of Grimm covers this character, right? They're trying to get him back. He got pretty much banished to hell because he... Henri, right? Is that how you would say it if you had a French sounding name? But actually no, I think Marcel's his name. Henri's his boyfriend's name. Anyway, he kills his boyfriend or husband. I think they're I think they're just living together. It's a mercy killing, right? I'm gonna assume the guy's like hacking up blood. So I'll see if I can find you the page. So maybe he's got like tuberculosis or something, you know. And they lived way back before modern medicine. So he basically does a mercy killing. His boyfriend doesn't want to suffer anymore. He stabs him in the heart with a knife. Anyway, they're saying, you know, that's murder. He killed his boyfriend for no purpose, no reason, and he's now in hell living this kind of like Groundhog Day, right? Where he's with his boyfriend. His boyfriend's like, man, if I lived, life could have been so much better, right? Looking back though at what happened, like there was no way that guy was living, right? He's like coughing up blood. He was a dead man walking. So yeah, Marcel thought he did mercy killing. Anyway, he's banished to hell. His friends are trying to get him back, but we're just seeing what a day in hell is like for Marcel now that he's been banished to hell. Grimm's a good series. The first 3 or 4 issues were really good. Then I think we lost it somewhere in the next couple of issues, like the first 5 issues. Then we lost it a little bit. But a lot of it was just exposition. They had to explain the story, all right? And now we're really getting deep into the characters. And I think now this series is starting to shine, right? Because we're starting to get that. We're starting to find out who these characters are. They told us the story, and now we're finding out who the characters are. All right. Next, last but not least, we got Something is Killing the Children, number 33. All right. There's a monster. I think it's an Obscura type, or possibly some mega version of that. Of whatever they call these monsters, that looks like Jessica Slaughter, and so Jessica's trying to kill that monster. It was kind of created by this white mask called, they call her Cutter, because she basically just cuts everybody she meets. And Jessica's really struggling. You know, she suffered some pretty bad injuries and stuff like that, and she's just like, oh, we got to kill this monster. And they're like, what about this other lady, Cutter, who also wants to kill you? And she's like, well, hopefully the monster gets here before she does. You can tell how this is going to end, right? Or, you know, what's going to happen, right? Obviously, Cutter's going to get there before the monster. I mean, spoiler alert. So this was kind of setting up the big action issue, which should be issue number 34, right? So we're going to get a monster. We're going to get this lady Cutter who's trying to kill, you know, our protagonist, Jessica Slaughter, and 34. It's going to be a bang-up issue. That's what I think, anyway. Now we're moving into the Marvel books. We're in the Marvel universe. All right. Oh, man. There's some dirt. Okay, it's on the outside of the plastic here. But this is strictly a cover by. I read a little bit of Death of the Venomverse, but I haven't really been following it. So this was strictly a cover guide. This is Necroco. This is the the character concept cover or character design cover, and this is by Ken Nimura. All right, so Necroco seems like a really cool character. High school student, gets powers, very anime or manga based, this character. But I just think it's a cool character. The ratio incentive, I think it was like a 1 in 50 that this character appeared on, like really boomed when it came out. So, yeah, it's just a fun character. So I got this one. All right, moving on. We got Star Wars Dark Droids. This is the D Squad, okay? So basically, C-3PO, who's not on the cover, because that's 000, by the way. That's 000. Gets jettisoned into space. R2-D2 gets jettisoned into space by C-3PO, who's been taken over by this. It's basically a hive mind, and the why do I keep forgetting the name of this power? It just came out of like the Dr. Aphra series. Anyway, it's basically this like tech that lets the user basically become like a Sith Lord. Gives them like Sith Lord powers, right? So I can't remember the name of it, but maybe it's right here in the introduction. The Spark Eternal, that's what it's called. Anyway, since I opened up the book, I might as well show you some interior art. Here's R2-D2 floating through space. Anyway, it's really good, well written. Art's really good, and then in the back of the issue we kind of get like an origin story, so it's good stuff. All right, I enjoyed it. R2-D2 is a really good character, really fun character, and the rest of these droids are just really fun. If you haven't been following Dark Droids too, one of the cool things is they've been putting out these droid covers. This is just part of it. There's actually more covers, but yeah. The only thing is, like, you have to, like, you can't just cross over the middle guy, like, somehow they offset it, but you can, I don't know, you can see that he's attaching covers, so, pretty cool. Ooh, coming at you. Alright, so this was Star Wars 38, which came out, and this is Dark Droids 2 that came out, like, last month, so I just wanted to show off those connecting covers. Those are pretty cool. Moving on though to Marvel, we got Guardians of the Galaxy number 6. All right, these guys are like, they get eaten by Grootfall. Basically, they're in there. Solicitations at the end of this book basically are like, the Guardians are dead. Meet the new Guardians. All right, so it looked like Wiccan and Hulkling were gonna form part of the new Guardians. Basically, I'm assuming Grootfall's eating these guys, and they're kind of stuck in a stasis. They'll escape at some point if they can get out of Grootfall and figure out how to convince the planet-eating entity that used to be Groot that, hey, we're friends and good stuff is supposed to happen. We also find out in this issue how Groot became Grootfall. Really good space western, guys. So if you're into westerns and you're into like space, why not just get Grootfall? I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy. Don't get Grootfall. Grootfall sounds like a horrible disease. All right, last comic, guys, coming up. From Marvel, we got the Amazing Spider-Man number 34. Thank God ASM is finally good. Not finally good. I mean, it's been good, but now it's like really good. All right. Basically, Peter gets hit with a dart that was intended for Norman Osborn that should have turned him back to the Green Goblin. Instead, Peter now is dealing with, or Spider-Man is now dealing with having that goblin persona inside of him, and he's doing some stuff. He's a bad man. Peter is a bad man. And he's fighting it, and Norman's trying to help him, and he's, oh man, there's just so many different storylines happening here too, because you still got Tombstone, who's like shot up in the oversized, I think it was, 750 issue Oh no, we're on 928, so it was 925. 3 issues ago. Tombstone got shot up. Craven got buried, right? Norman gets beat down by Spider-Man. There's a lot of stuff happening in here, okay? Not to mention Norman had a fight with Doc Ock a couple of issues ago, and Doc Ock is starting to remember who the what was it? When he was Spider-Man. He's trying to remember the Spider-Man that he was back in the day. So, there's a lot of stuff happening in here. My mind is racing, but it's good. Amazing Spider-Man is good, guys. So if you like Amazing Spider-Man and you got Gleason doing the artwork, not that JR is doing a bad job. He's been doing some of the best artwork he's done in years on Spider-Man, but Gleason's also good. It's nice to have. This is a JR cover, by the way, John Romita Jr. cover. It's good to sometimes mix up the art a little bit. So I'll enjoy it when John Romita's back on the book, and while we have Patrick Gleason on the book, I'm going to enjoy it too. All right, guys, that was my new comic book day haul plus review. All right, if you like the content, don't forget to like it, hit thumbs up, comment down below, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you didn't like it, do those same things anyway. All right. So comic fans, do what you do. I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna get ready for next week's books. If you like comics, you're in the place to be. Peace. What's up, comic fans, and it's time for that new comic book What's up, comic fans? I gotta turn off the fan. What's up? Plus review, we're gonna go out. We're gonna go. Couple comments.